Hey y'all, welcome to another edition of the Popcorn Buzz. Bobbert here with a steaming hot delivery of fresh movie news. Let's just dig in, shall we? This past Tuesday morning, Marvel Studios dropped the first teaser trailer for the upcoming Spider-Man sequel, Far From Home. It features Peter Parker on a school trip to Europe without his Spidey suit in tow, although it does show up later in the trailer, so I don't know what's going on there, where he encounters would-be friends and foes. Let's take a quick gander at the trailer, which I've linked to in the description down below, and then come back here for my breakdown.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
Did you get your passport? Peter Parker here to pick up a passport, please. Nick Fury just hijacked our summer vacation.
Awesome!
That was so good.
Welcome back. Okay, so let's get some itsy bitsy tidbits out of the way first. We now know why there were so many new suit rumors and leaked set photos of an all-black getup last year. Turns out silly old Parker decided to leave his suit home so he could just enjoy his summer vacation. But then former S.H.I.E.L.D. director Nick Fury shows up, or is he back in charge again? Between the movies and the TV show, I can't keep that straight. He gives Peter some stealthy looking replacement tights. I doubt it'll have the same super tech that the Stark suit sports, but who knows, maybe Tony made one for S.H.I.E.L.D. just in case of an emergency. Anyway, the teaser appears to jump right off from the previous flick's closing stinger where Aunt May discovers Peter's secret identity. It appears she's totally cool with it at this point, even joining in on the fun of Spidey's fandom. I'm happy to see they're continuing the running gag of the older men in Pete's life all fawning over Aunt May. The scene with Happy Hogan also appears to imply that Tony's still keeping a close eye on the private lives of the Parkers, and that perhaps Happy is a bit of a creeper. Yeesh. Ever hear of Me Too, bro? Some of you may have noticed the clever nod to the old school 60s show, as the trailer incorporates a orchestral version of the cartoon theme song. If they ain't gonna bring back Danny Elfman's theme from the Sam Raimi films, wouldn't it be great if they stopped screwing around and just made that catchy little jingle from the TV show the theme to this new series of Spidey flicks? Now, some of the best stuff in Homecoming was Peter's interactions with his classmates, including his best bud Ned and his arch nemesis Flash. Luckily, that fun dynamic remains in place, with a spotlight on the burgeoning romantic tension that's developed between him and Zendaya's Michelle Jones, the MJ of this series. Get it? Michelle Jones, MJ? Alright, enough messing around. Let's start getting tangled up in this here web though. Before we dive in, let me just give you fair warning. My spoiler sense is tingling. So if you want to go in bird box blind for this flick, I suggest you pause and skip to the time code displayed somewhere over here. Maybe over there? I don't know. I'll figure it out. And now, for all you spoiler-loving webheads, here we go. So what's Mysterio's deal? The classic Spidey rogue, as portrayed by Jake Gyllenhaal, appears briefly near the end of the trailer, and he makes quite a heroic entrance, fighting back a water-based baddie that some fans are speculating is Hydro Man, but most likely just an illusion conjured up by Mysterio himself. But wait a minute, you might be thinking, isn't Mysterio a bad guy? What gives? Well, it turns out this is kind of the same way Mysterio was introduced in the comic books all the way back in 1964. In Amazing Spider-Man number 13, he debuted as a superhero promising to catch Spider-Man, who was still seen as a criminal at the time. Just like the characters in the trailer, the public fell for Mysterio's trick in the comic book, and he's celebrated as a hero, and even gets his own parade, where interestingly enough, a certain Spidey-loving high school jock was less than enamored with Mysterio's theatrics, just like his cinematic counterpart.
He's no Spider-Man.
What is it with you and Spider-Man?
What, he looks out for the neighborhood, has a dope suit, and I really respect him. What's up, dickwad?
But folks online sure do love themselves some Mysterio. People are Team Mysterio, and they are not shy about sharing it. In the comics, Mysterio's superpowers and heroism are revealed to be movie magic and a sham, as his real identity is of a washed-up Hollywood stuntman that was framing Spider-Man in order to garner some fame and fortune. While it's definitely not a one-to-one translation of the panels and speech bubbles, the movie's Mysterio origin looks to mirror the same premise as the comic book, which will make for interesting and fresh plot points for this sequel. Considering this will be the 10th appearance of Spider-Man in a major motion picture, but probably 11th if you count Endgame, it's kinda cool that filmmakers are still able to pull from this classic library of stories and bring something new to the table. Plus, it's nice to finally know what happened to the Bubble Boy. A major question going into this movie was whether it took place before, during, or after Infinity War and Endgame. Well, using the scant details provided in the teaser, I'm going to guess that it's probably set before. I believe this is the case because Peter's school trip is during summer break, so it's very likely happening immediately after Homecoming, is what I would have ended on if Marvel Studios head honcho Kevin Feige didn't already clarify in an interview recently that Far From Home actually takes place after Endgame. Oh well, this is why analyzing trailers is a losing battle ultimately, but you gotta give the people what they want, and what they want is frame-by-frame analysis of overgrown commercials with unqualified speculation on stuff that might not even end up in the final cut of the movie. But I digress. Even while most of the Far From Home teaser conversation has been overwhelmingly positive and complimentary, downright obscenely so, there were a few detractors citing that the still fresh and continuing afterglow of Into the Spider-Verse may diminish excitement for this one. And while I don't disagree that Spider-Verse has set a rather insurmountably high bar, it's gonna be almost a half a year before Far From Home web slings into theaters. Endgame probably won't feature the wall crawler all that much, considering he was a victim of Thick Daddy Thanos, look it up, and his Snapsure, Snapageddon, Snapocalypse, Snappening? Okay, I'll stop. What I'm saying is that once July 5th rolls around, folks will probably be ready for another full dose of our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But what about you folks? Are you feeling Spidey fatigue? Are you digging that Mysterio look as much as everyone else? And what's with Happy Hogan peeping on Aunt May's wardrobe? Head down to the comments below and discuss. Hit like if you want more videos like this. Don't forget to smash that sexy subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you don't miss more popcorn buzz or any other BOBERT'S babblings. Thanks for watching.